They say royal walls hide the darkest secrets, but this time, the heartbreak couldn't be contained. Princess Beatrice is reportedly breaking down in tears, caught in a full-throated marital crisis that has pushed her to the absolute brink. For months, the world saw nothing but a flawless royal fairy tale, but the illusion completely shattered the moment her husband, Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, broke his silence with a defiant statement that sent shockwaves through the inner circles. Something devastating has shifted behind the scenes, and a single explosive event has forced a permanent divide between them. To understand how a love story this perfect unraveled so fast, you need to see the piece of the puzzle that changes everything. A hidden detail we reveal at the very end of this video that completely redefines the future of the House of York. If you love diving deep beneath the surface of royal mysteries and uncovering the truth behind the palace gates, you are in the right place. We analyze the hidden realities of the world's most scrutinized families, stripping away the public relations veneer to reveal what actually happens when the cameras stop rolling. The flawless facade first began to fracture under the blinding sun of the French Riviera. What was supposed to be a healing getaway to the exclusive coastal town of Saint-Tropez quickly transformed into the backdrop for what insiders call a complete marital breakdown. It was meant to be a chance to escape the intense pressure of the British spotlight, an opportunity to fix the deep fractures growing between them in private. Instead, it exposed a devastating distance that could no longer be hidden from the world. The trouble sparked almost immediately at the infamous Le Club 55. This isn't just any beachside restaurant. It is an ultra-exclusive hotspot where a single bottle of wine costs more than most people's monthly rent, a playground where the ultra-wealthy gather to see and be seen. Onlookers watched as a high-profile crowd filled the venue, teeming with wealthy elites, media moguls, and glamorous models. But as the afternoon rolled on, guests noticed something incredibly bizarre. The princess was completely nowhere to be found. While Beatrice remained entirely isolated, her husband, Edoardo, was seen laughing, drinking, and thoroughly enjoying the luxury scene. Reports suggest she spent the entire first day confined to her room, too overwhelmed and physically sick to even face the public. But rather than staying by her side during this deeply fragile moment, her husband chose a very different path. He stayed out, blending into the crowd and acting as if he didn't have a single care in the world. According to those present, his behavior that afternoon shocked everyone in attendance. He was carrying himself with an attitude that raised major red flags among their immediate social circle. In fact, one guest openly speculated that he was operating as if he were completely single. The contrast was devastating. A royal princess weeping in isolation, while her partner basked in the glamour of high society. But a simple afternoon of partying wasn't the real catalyst for this disaster. As the sun set over the Mediterranean, a confrontation took place that would alter everything. And what happened when the privacy of their luxury villa was finally breached would push Edoardo to do something no royal spouse is ever supposed to do, an act that tied directly into an empire on the verge of collapse. The real disaster wasn't just happening on the beaches of France. It was deeply rooted in a multi-million-dollar business empire that was rapidly turning toxic. For years, Edoardo's luxury property firm, Bonda Property, thrived on its prestigious connections to the British monarchy. High-net-worth international clients lined up just to be associated with royalty. But when massive family scandals began to consume the House of York, that golden connection instantly became a commercial nightmare. Suddenly, the very name meant to build an empire was burning it to the ground. Wealthy investors started pulling back, terrified of being linked to the family's public downfall. Insiders say the financial weight on Edoardo's shoulders became absolutely crushing as he fought day and night to keep his business afloat. He reportedly realized that the association with his father-in-law, Prince Andrew, was actively destroying his brand. He urged his wife to distance herself completely from her own family, setting up a brutal conflict of loyalties. But it's his next move that truly fractured the foundation of their marriage. Instead of standing by Beatrice during her family's darkest hour, rumors indicate he made a drastic, unilateral decision to flee the country.
You are remembering that correctly. When Princess Beatrice started dating Edo, then they went on to get engaged and then married, there he was being hyped. There was all this talk that he is an Italian count and that she was going to also receive a title when she married him. Articles from Hello magazine back in 2021, which talks about the kind of title that she will receive and the fact that any children that they have, they will also be titled, which would have meant that his eldest child, Wolfie, that he had in a previous relationship, since Edo was not married to his mother, he would not have received any titles and he would not have inherited the title of count. But none of that really matters because he's not a count, he's not going to be one, mainly due to the fact that Italy does not have a monarchy and they have not recognized titles in decades. Even going back to last year, 2025, they were still referring to Edo as an Italian count. I am surprised that there hasn't been a conversation had about the fact that Beatrice and her husband shield their daughters. Like, we've never officially seen their faces before. This is their youngest daughter, and this is their eldest daughter. They never have any qualms about parading around his eldest, especially when you consider the fact that you didn't really start seeing him around the British royal family until everything happened with the Sussexes and the aftermath of that. I don't know. I don't want to say it's giving token